Hello, welcome to another Ready Aim Roll video. Today we are at last taking a look at the Spectre Operations starter set. This is available through Spectre Operations themselves, so I think, I haven't checked, so don't quote me on this, but I think they've got a little deal going with Blacksite Studios in the US, so if ordering from the UK is a little bit pricey for you, you can go through Blacksite Studios, at least I think you can, and do it that way. So yeah, this cost me £80, so just convert that to your regional equivalent, I guess. And as you can see, it's quite a plain box, but I think it does what it needs to, and that is contain the contents. I honestly just sort of expected it to come in the packaging box. I expected just a brown box with the individual items in them, but no, they have gone that extra step and made like a bespoke, at least semi-bespoke box for it. As you can see, it is mostly a plain box except for the Spectre sticker on it. There's nothing on the back, so I won't turn it over to show you. I'm just gonna get, there we go, get this. It is quite a tightly packed box, which is why this is quite tight, kind of hard to undo. And throw the lid open. Start off with, we get some black paper, which is nice. And we are greeted with goodies. So the starter set armies, I guess, or forces are as follows. We get a task force CTB element, which are a tier 2 force, though I don't see why you couldn't say these these are our tier 2. I'm thinking of the second edition where it wasn't so much tier 1 and 2, it was anyway. So you could run these anywhere from like a like they're definitely up there in terms of skill and equipment, but I don't see why you couldn't just potentially run these as a professional or trained force. But then I think you might want more than is in this box if you wanted to run them that way. Whereas these are very much, at least from what I can tell in terms of their points and their kit, these are very much meant to be run as a tier 1 force. And opposing them is the Insurgents box. Yeah, really nice. So this, I will say, this is the first time I'm seeing Spectre Operations resins. If you've seen any of our old videos, you'll know that I did an unboxing of some Spectre minis a good couple years ago now. I want to say it was around 2022, either 21 or 22. So yes, I'm very used to their metals, and was only in the move to Spectre version 3 that they started making, moving to resin. They do still sell a good chunk of stuff in metal, but their older stock, they are moving away from that into resin, or just 3D printing them. You also get these really adorable little bases. We'll take a look at in a moment. You get this fun ominous bag and this fun ominous bag. This is dice and this is the terrain. I am always happy to see a box that comes with terrain. That was the bit that sold me on this box, especially for the price. Like, you know, it's just good to see. You also get this quick reference sheet for the forces. Here are the weapons. So if you wanted to just jump into a game with these lads, you can. It even comes with a starter scenario, which is good. The thing is, you could even, once you're more well versed in the game, you could easily break these down into what equipment they have and see about making different point-sized games using these minis or whatever minis you have. You also get a quick reference guide, which is really nice. This is available separately on the Spectre website. It's something that I've been meaning to buy for a while, just because it looks useful, and it's something that when I ran when I played my first game of Spectre, this would have probably come in very handy, because it comes with all the stats for your untrained and trained, so from civilians, criminals, conscripts, and militia in the untrained section, with the trained being enlisted, veteran, tier 2 and tier 1. So if we do a quick comparison here, in fact, no, it actually says tier 2 and militia. So yeah, that's quite good, which is nice. You also get all the stuff for actions and reactions, a good selection of weapons, weapon special rules, area of effect, equipment, things like that. So yeah, this is going to be very handy for learning the game. And finally, something that I won't be going through because we already have a video on the channel go through, is the core rulebook. But just maybe if you haven't seen the video, it's quite nice. I would say that this is definitely exactly the same as the core rulebook, because I have it right next to me in my bag, which, just for the sake of comparison, I will pull out because I'm kind of intrigued. I'm 99.9% sure that that is the book that I have. Yes, it is. You will see that since I recorded the video, this book is a bit more beaten up because it lives in my bag now. Whereas that's nice and clean, obviously. Yeah, it's the same book. But like I say, I'm not going to get into this one because this isn't going to be mine. This is going to be handed out to, well, not handed out, but this is going to someone else. So, yeah. As are, now that they're buried, these guys. At least if the person I have offered them to still wants them. So yeah, all good stuff. I think the the bits that come in this box are all things that a good starter set needs. Quick start guide, a sort of jump in with the minions you've got. Here's the rules, here's a scenario you can play, you know, like quick. If this is like a quick reference sheet, this is a sort of quick start guide type thing. All starter sets need that, and while I can understand why some games will not include a full rulebook, I think it's useful, because obviously if you enjoy the game, you're going to want to play more, and it just saves a bit of time and money on the person buying into the game. And before we start looking at all more in depth at the fun stuff, here's some dice. As mentioned in the rulebook review, it is a D10 system, so you get 2 of each dice colour. The dice were different colour in the promotional material on the website, but it did also, if I remember correctly, say that was subject to change. So yeah, they probably just found whatever dice they could and then let's just bung those in the product image for now. But yeah, I'm quite happy with the dice that come in the box. We will have a quick look at the resin bases that come in this, because they are one of the first, I don't want to say failing points, but because I think if you want to get into this game, this is absolutely going to be one of the best ways in, I think. I just wish I had picked up the version 2 starter box. But yeah, so what you get for bases are these. These are 3D printed, resin 3D printed 20mm bases. And yeah, I don't want to say anything for 100% certain, because that would be wrong, but some of these do not feel like they've been cleaned to the extent that they could have been, and given the material, should have been. I had a little look in the box earlier when it arrived, because I was just excited that I had it. Like this one, like I'm relatively sure these are perfectly fine. Obviously don't eat them, but that is, obviously you won't be able to tell. You might be able to tell by the resistance though, my finger's giving. That is a little bit sticky. Now that can happen just generally if, you know, with resin, but it tends to happen more if it's not been cleaned with isopropyl alcohol. So yeah, there is that, that I'm not a huge fan of. Also, I just tend to prefer 25mm bases. I think the only bonus these bases have over standard bases is these have the slits in them that will denote the facing arc, or I guess cone of vision, if you want to put video gamey terms into it. Because this game does have facing rules where if you sneak up behind someone, they can't just turn around and shoot you right away. But yeah, it's nice that they include bases, I guess. But also, they could have just thrown in some bases that they already sell. I think they sell the Renedra bases. I know though that set comes in quite a lot. That's like a set of 40, but you know, I think I would have preferred the Renedra bases over those. Some people might prefer 20mm bases. I know that is what was initially recommended for this game. But I guess, as I try and open the next bag, I guess, you know, they saw that most people were playing using 25mm bases and just decided, yep, cool, that's fine. Because these are 28mm minis. And yeah, not funny, I was about to say finally, we get to the terrain, which is point number 2 that I'm not hugely keen on. These, so you do get terrain, which is great. I love that you get terrain in this box. However, this is going to require a lot of cleaning. I get that these are resin 3D prints, that's fine. It's just, yeah, there's a lot of scarring and marks from where the supports have been, and even this bit looks to just be a bit of resin that, when they've cured the resin, that there's a couple bits here that just look like the resin's just stuck and fused. And interestingly, that's a gap in the layer line. So somewhere along the line in this individual piece's journey in the printer, there has been some sort of, obviously not failure, but something has happened where one layer and the second layer haven't, I don't know what the term is. Obviously, as you can see with the rest of it, there it's all, yeah, printed fairly fine. It's just that one small bit which, it's a complaint. I'm not going to say that this isn't a complaint, given that this is an £80 set, which I will say, given that the worth of all this stuff is 120 quid, it is a good deal. It is a very good deal. But that is still a lot of money to be throwing down to get stuff like this. This isn't great. It's not terrible. Like, I'm mostly going to be playing this. Yeah, I'm not going to be playing this in a tournament. This isn't a game that you play in tournaments anyway. And you could easily, I think you could easily put some liquid green stuff over that, and that would be fine. But yeah, that's, and also, well, there's definitely spaces here that will allow it to stand up. It isn't standing up. Okay, I will give it the benefit of the doubt that that's not a great way to do it. It will stand up, but I think this could be. I think this could do with, this will need, I think, need a little bit of extra work to get it to stand up reliably and stay standing up during a game. Like, it's one thing if I just move the camera slightly so I can stand that there. It's one thing for it to stand up normally. It is another for me to want to put a mini down. Yeah, you know, obviously was a little bit of force. I wasn't trying to knock that over, but even just, you know, just, yeah. It's probably not going to happen every single time, but it's still going to happen probably, 50% of the time. Yeah. So I think a bit of thought into this would have been nice. Like I say, I have plasticard and super glue, so this isn't a deal breaker for me. But you know, it could be a deal breaker for someone else. I don't know. I'm just showing this stuff off and trying to be constructively critical of it, I think. Not least because, like I say, I don't think I've mentioned this. I ordered this back in April, on the 5th, I think. And on the website, it said this could take up to 4 weeks to arrive. And it took, well, I only got this today, and at time of writing, it is the 15th of May. So, yeah, it's taken its time. And I did, on Monday, write an email to the lovely folks at the Spectre saying, hey, this hasn't arrived yet. You know, what's going on with that? And they got back to me, early Tuesday morning, when business hours started for them. And they basically just said, hey, it's just been that this is more popular than we anticipated, so it's taking a little bit of time for some of them to get out, which is fine. I can't remember who responded to my email. Thank you for doing that in such a timely manner. And obviously, they sent it out literally the same day that they sent that email to me. So that's great. Their customer service is on point. So that's fine. But yeah, this piece isn't as bad. So far, not noticing any layer separations. That's not too bad. It's got that sort of chalky, tacky feeling of resin, but that's 3D printer resin. Obviously, you do get some corner pieces, like stuff like this is fine. That's going to stand up perfectly fine on its own. You're not going to have to worry about that. But something like this, especially, that's not great. That's gonna be a bit of a, like, it's not terrible. But again, where's my example lad? Again, if I want to have a guy there, that's, it's not ideal. That's going to need probably mounting on some plasticard or a bit of MDF again. And there's more like that. Obviously, there's, I think, 2 corner pieces, 3 flat wall pieces. You get sandbags, another bit of wall. Like most of the cleanup is not going to be too hard. It's just when you're spending this sort of money, it's not great that you have to do it in the first place. But also, I understand that these guys are a small company and this is 3D printed. I sort of expected to need to do a bit of cleanup on resin anyway. But yeah, I just want to be transparent and maybe a bit more harsh than I normally would be. But you do get a good chunk of terrain out of this box. Like I say, you get walls, you get some sandbags, you get these 2 of these tank traps. I think in terms of the terrain that you get in this box, this will fill up a 2x2 game, which is good because that's what it recommends for this quick reference sheet, that you start with a 2x2 game. And honestly, I wouldn't go much bigger than that, because I think this game is best played with more individuality to it, with small forces. So yeah, this video has gone on long enough, I think, so I'm going to say I'm going to make the unboxings for the individual forces. So Task Force, CQB element, and the Militia Mercenaries, I think they're labelled as on the site. These are going to be 2 separate videos on their own. So yeah, thank you ever so much for watching this. If you enjoyed watching this and want to see more Spectre operations, I will be making a playlist, so that will be available in the description, or if you click on our channel name, go to playlist, you'll be able to do it that way. And that will include this unboxing, the flip through of the core rulebook, the unboxing of the minis that I did a couple of years ago, as well as obviously these lads being shown off, and obviously any other videos I make on Spectre, because I do enjoy this game. It's great. I do feel I've been a little bit more harsh than I normally would, but I think I need to be, because this is a lot of money, thankfully, or not so thankfully, I guess. It was quite nice that this did take so long, because it sort of felt like, you know, I'd almost forgotten about it, and then I was like, oh yeah, I ordered this, and it's been a few weeks, as I try and figure out what goes where in the box. But yeah, like and subscribe as always, and I will catch you next time.